Yo, you ready?
Yeah, sure.
We are live now on YouTube.
You sure?
As far as I know, we are. Double check. Can you see it?
No, I'm trying to copy the link. Hold on a second.
Jesus. Yes. Woohoo.
Yeah, I was able to copy paste the link on the TikTok.
Oh, that's
You're
cool.
you're yeah, because you keep saying it, and I feel sorry for you that
Oh.
your listeners can't just click it.
Wow.
That's the 2023 version of doing things now. You just click it
Yeah,
with your thumb.
exactly.
With your thumb. Hey, speaking of thumb, remember
Can
a
I do a
couple of
quick
weeks
intro
ago?
real quick?
Fine.
Good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the flip side with Jay and Noel. What's up? It is Wednesday, the 10th of May, 8:21 p.m. here in the United States of the America, and 8:21 a.m. in the Philippines, where Noel is at.
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
running for are you running for office?
Right. Hold on. I got something for you real quick.
Make
You watching?
America great again.
Are you watching behind me?
What's up?
I got something for you. It didn't work. Oh, I gotta turn it on. Hold on.
What is it this time?
I got something for you. Ready? You ready?
What is it? A new toy?
Oh my god, I can plug it in. Hold on.
No batteries? Need an extension cord? Oh, wait. Wow.
Boom. Look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, I am official.
Officially what?
Um,
Officially trying hard.
I'm officially trying hard.
Sorry.
I am officially trying too hard and putting way too much time in this stupid thing that we're doing here.
Is it stupid? What are we doing here? People are yearly inviting people to join us, and I'm like, okay. I thought it was just a private conversation between two friends catching up. Now it's like, come join us on the live.
I know, right? All of a sudden it's public. Jesus Christ, what the hell are we doing? Seriously.
No, I don't mind going live, but like join us for what?
Well,
What?
I don't know.
I was thinking about I was looking at one of our episodes a couple of weeks ago, and then we were talking about this Thai movie. You were telling me how to pronounce Thai. This movie from Thailand, one of my favorite movies. It's called The Scent of a Green Papaya.
Scent
Because
of a green papaya.
yeah, I don't remember if you were in that conversation, but I was telling you, ranting and raving with you about this favorite movie of mine. And then I wanted to go on YouTube to find out a little bit more about the movie, like, The Scent of a Green Papaya
Oh my god.
explained, ending explained, the characters explained. And then it turns out it's not Thai,
What is it?
it's Vietnamese.
Oh,
So
Jesus.
my apologies for, I don't know, I guess misleading everybody or I, for all this time, for like 10, 15, 20 years since I saw it, all this time I was thinking that it's Thai. It's Vietnamese. It's a Vietnamese movie.
Well, we completely just gave people the wrong information there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but thanks to YouTube, if I didn't like look into, scent of a green papaya explained, it wouldn't I wouldn't have found out that it's Vietnamese. So
Right.
that's SMH shaking my head. So I just wanted to clear that one out of the way
Right.
before we move on and ruin the
Well,
rest of my reputation for whatever's left of it.
Well, that's what we're doing here, Dell. We're gambling with everything, which is a whole lot of nothing.
We're correcting our mistakes
We're
in our lives.
I don't know why we're even doing something like this. Honestly, guys, we're like a bunch of middle-aged, 40-year-old, mid 40s trying to figure out what 15-year-olds are doing nowadays in regards to stupid podcasting, whatever.
Hey, join us on the live, they said. It's going to be fun, they said. Hey, couple of shout outs real quick for the people on TikTok. Uh, Gabriel Arevalo, he says he's Mexican.
Right.
Arriba.
Mexicali. What's up, Gabriel? How are you? Go to youtube.com, the flip side with Jay Noel. Check that out. Also, Logan, how you doing, Logan? You joined. Please like the page, share it, whatever. Subscribe. Anyway,
So Gabriel asks also, and I want to ask you also, what are we talking about on the podcast?
well, one of the things that I wanted to talk about actually was it's something that we last week we were talking about on the last episode. We were talking about how certain things about our fathers' lives, right? The way they lived their life, how they became men, and what they did.
Okay,
So
hold
that
that hold that thought. Sorry, I just wanted to try something different real quick without telling you.
okay,
What are the other things that you wanted to talk about? Because I know you're gonna go down this. Yeah, can you tell me a little bit about it? I'm imagining myself, in that like fork. If I'm going
right?
to decide to listen to this podcast or not, remember, like there's that fork where there's like, uh, Germany to the left, Austria to the left, and then Japan to the right. It's like a with this street sign.
Right.
So I'm gonna try to decide if I'm going to sit around on the rest of this podcast or not.
Well, come on, man.
I'm
Way to
kidding. I'm kidding.
participate there. It's
Of-
called giving your. It's called putting in the work, man. Putting in the
I'm
work.
kidding. I'm kidding. Of course, for the rest of the listeners, I'm not gonna leave you hanging. But
Right.
what else did you have in mind for the rest of the podcast today,
Well,
or
I
at
wanted
least
to
to talk
dabble
about?
into another discussion in regards to Filipino food, how it's being represented here in the US. Also, my wife's comments about our show.
Ooh. Anything else?
I think that's it for now. But I know you wanted something. There was something that you wanted to talk about.
No, nothing in particular, but yeah. So I mentioned about the one with the green papaya. It's Vietnamese. It's not Thai. Um, Nothing that we need to stretch here. But let's talk about the thing with your dad real quick. But I also just wanted to mention a couple of things in the news that I've been sort of following.
Right?
Pac-Man lost a case, not a fight,
Yeah,
but a
that's
case.
actually number 4 in my list. You know what? Let's talk about that 4.
And then there's the Dune trailer that I just got. Remember a couple of weeks ago, I was saying that like I'm trying to wrap my head around this thing that looks like Star Wars, but it's
Yeah,
called Dune. So I'm
it's
like
it's
watching the
actually really
movie.
good. Have you seen it?
I haven't finished the whole thing yet. Dune 1.
Jesus Christ. So
I'm
okay,
like
so what do you want to talk
halfway
about first?
through, and then I see this part 2 trailer. I was like, what the fuck? That's part 2 already? I'm not even done with part 1 yet.
Let's talk about Manny loses the case.
Sure. But one more thing. Speaking of Manny losing his case, there's this thing about what do you call those apps on your phone where you're paying? You were like money wallets.
Like Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, whatever, one of those
Yeah,
things.
they got one of those things here that lost some people lost some money,
Oh,
and then
really?
yeah,
That's
and
interesting.
then I wanted to ask you about Brotherhood too. But okay, those are my little teasers. Those are my little street signs. Well, what you got? What do you want to talk about first?
Well, let's talk about the Manny Pacquiao case real quick. Um, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this or how familiar you are. I'm not that versed into it, to be quite honest with you, but it caught my attention, obviously. Apparently, back in June of 2021, Paradigm is, I guess, the promoter for one of his fights or something. I'm not sure. Um,
Okay.
but they claimed that Manny had breached an agreement by allowing other people to negotiate a deal for a certain fight that he had. But it was initially scheduled by somebody else. I don't know. It's a whole debacle apparently because from what they're saying, Manny stepped in, and because of that, that particular fight lost a pretty good chunk of money.
Oh, that's funny. I'm saying that I'm following it, but you actually know more about it than I do. Uh, the elementary third grader version of what I understand about it
Right.
is that he had a promise and then he didn't follow up with that promise.
Well, that was part of it. That was
But
definitely part of it.
but the whole thing here, it's actually water under the bridge in the sense that he already lost the case, right? It's not a running debate
Yeah. Yeah. He
case.
literally lost
It's
5.1 million US dollars.
it's done.
Yeah. Done. Like that's out the door.
Yeah.
But to
So
him,
stick
that's
to your
chump
word,
change.
follow through with your promises, and don't owe anybody money.
But
Did
there's so,
well,
it
maybe the thing to talk about this is did he forget? Was there an oversight somewhere? Was he ill-advised? That's the one that I wonder about. It's because it's not like Manny's making his own decisions all by himself. He's got to have like somebody, some boys helping him out. Like,
well,
bro, I think we're forgetting something here, but
I
I don't know.
mean,
I know nothing about. I don't know him.
did he actually forget it or what? I don't know. I mean,
It's
it
all
could have been
speculation.
maybe
Yeah.
one of his, like you said, one of his boys just basically shitting the bed there, you know?
Yeah, because it's one of those things where it's like it's 2023. You're not gonna forget something like that, right?
Right.
I'm sure sure there were contracts signed. I'm sure there were, handshakes, agreements, and like probably placed it on his calendar. Did it ring on the calendar? And he like just ignore the notification.
Well,
Oh,
that's the
well,
thing. That's 5.1 million US dollars. That's over 200 million pesos. Okay.
I think it was 158 or something like that that caught my attention.
Well,
158 million pesos.
no matter what, it's a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
money,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. So
Hey,
that's just
Cadillac. Sorry.
that's the only reason why I wanted to talk about it. It's like, how is it something that he forgot on the calendar? His bros didn't tell him, like, oh, maybe he'll remember, like
Right.
last minute.
Do you think that one of the guy well, I want to know how many people got fired for that or if anybody got fired. Again, 5.1 million dollars is chump change for him, literally, cuz this let me preface this real quick. For those of you that don't know Manny, the way he is in the Philippines, he literally walks around handing people cash. That's it. You know what I mean? He
I
walks
don't
around
know
his
about that.
province handing people money, helping them out and whatnot.
Did you ever meet him?
No, I never did. I never even got to watch his fights, live, that is. I never did because they're so expensive.
I got sort of the chance to like he sort of sat beside me one time at the I was falling in line at the US embassy here,
Yeah.
and I think that was around 2004 if I'm not mistaken, one of his first big fights, I think. Well, I mean, no, not one of his bird. I mean, earlier years,
Mhm.
2004. So I was sitting at the US embassy and then he walked in, with his big watch, and first and only thing that came across in my head was like, number one, this guy is the same age as I am, and he's like,
And
you
he's still
know,
kicking ass.
millions of pesos richer. Number
Right.
two, he's got a big watch, and number three, he's going to the US like I am. Like that was the only thing that came to mind. I didn't even think of like, hey Manny, medical, hello. Like, maybe in hindsight it would have been good to like, pat him on the shoulder and say congratulations or good luck or something like that.
Right.
But I just looked at him like, oh, this guy's same age as me. He's got a big watch. And he's also falling in line to go to the US. Those are the only things that came across my mind. He did his thing and then he left, and that was done. And then I
Although,
realized, oh, I should have, you know, uh, w- sent him well wishes or whatever. But
can
no,
I just point out, I'm quite impressed that you actually noticed the watch.
right,
That
right,
is a big watch, right?
yeah,
I mean, I don't even know where to get something like that.
mm.
What I want to know is how much that watch cost. You
I
know,
know a couple of places in Divisoria.
I mean, it's. I know it's a Rolex watch. I mean, I don't know exactly if it's a Rolex watch, but it looks like it. All right,
I can't tell the brand, but I noticed that it was bigger than his arm.
right. It
You
was
know,
insane. It was insane how big that stupid. You know that watch is enough probably to pay for somebody's house.
oh, I was gonna say car, but yeah, house. That's right.
Well,
Maybe that's
definitely
why
a
he's.
house.
Maybe that's why some guys walk around with a swag like that because the watch is big.
It's too heavy.
Yeah.
Where did that walk start from? Anyway, no, no, I don't want to talk about that. But that's my 2 cents in regards to that Manny Pacquiao debacle. I think somebody screwed up. I think multiple people got fired, or it doesn't bother him at all because it's only $5.1 million.
Chump change.
Yeah, chump change. I mean, he showed up in court, that's for sure. But I think he had to for, you know, keep face or keepsake or whatever you call that thing. I don't know. Right?
But I think it's that kind of case, and I don't know. I'm speculating here, but if it's a financial, I mean, it's a is this a civil case? But if it's that kind of a case, I mean, it's not a murder case. You're not required to show up, right? So I guess it's a big deal that he showed up.
I guess. But I mean, it's not required for him to show up, but it would definitely save face for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Because I mean, it is $5 million. It's still a lot of money, but the reality of the fact is $5 million to him is like going to a pho restaurant and just ordering pho.
For 15 people.
Right, right,
Yeah, that's about all I got for that. That's my 2 centavos for that too.
right, right. So how do we segue to this one? What's the next thing we want to talk about here? Um, well, let's tackle the big one. Like I was saying earlier, um, last week we talked about our relationships, or at least somewhat of a relationship with our fathers and whatnot, and the way they live their lives, and any regrets that they might have. Maybe it relays or trickles down to the kids and whatnot. It led me to think, really.
I'm I'm running out of tissue here, man. Come on,
Okay,
wrap it
all
up.
right.
Let's go.
Well, it led me to think, like, what makes a better man? You know, and to be quite honest with you, I equate that to, like I said, unfortunately, to my father's funeral. I All we did was literally post it on Facebook on his page that he had unfortunately passed, and there's got to be over 200 people that showed up, and I didn't even know that he knew that many people or has touched that many people. Like I told
Are
you, I
you
met this one guy who approached me and said, "Hey, this is my name is so and so. Your dad was my ninong in the kasal or whatever.
Mhm.
That's like godfather for the wedding. What do you call that? Whatever."
Mhm.
And it led me to ask, what makes a better man?
Were you surprised? Are you telling me that you were surprised that there were a lot of people and there's a lot of people that appreciated your dad
Yeah.
and you're kind of wondering, it's like, are we talking about the same person here?
Okay, so I had to think about that a lot. Yeah, I was definitely surprised by it because I didn't know that he was able to touch so many lives like that.
And he didn't tell me. He didn't tell me how to do it.
He didn't tell me how to do it. And the reality of things are, I'm kind of jealous by it. Not
Can
like
we
how he was able to do that, but from the other people, to be quite honest with you. Because I wish that I had that relationship with him the way these strangers had that relationship with him.
Right. Right. You don't get that because you're the son. Can we put pause on that topic real quick? Because I
Yeah.
think it segues into what I wanted to talk about also, and I think it'll circle back to whatever it is that we're talking about now about your father. I wanted to talk to you about brotherhood real quick.
Right.
And I think this segues into that topic. When I moved here, we were still in high school. We weren't. I wasn't exposed to those the Bloods and the Crips and gangs, in the Bay Area.
Right.
But here, when I moved here in the Philippines, I mean, sorry, with your permission, let's segue to this real quick
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
because I think it'll be interesting, and I'm wondering if your dad had anything to say about that. When I moved here, the gangs weren't, and this was the late '90s. The gangs weren't as prominent. I mean, I didn't hear much about it, but the one that was sort of in my face all the time, and I'm kind of thinking about it now. Should I have been? Could I have been? Was fraternities, and whether you call it fraternity or the brotherhood or a gang or a group. And I think about this also now because my son was also asking me why people join gangs a couple of
Right.
weeks ago. But uh, to my point about asking you about it is, were between high school and now, were you ever into any gangs, groups, fraternities, brotherhoods, or anything like that? And did it help? And that's my question. Does it help? Because some people, like here in the Philippines, with all due respect to the brothers, in other words, I get it. I totally get it, and I respect it, and
Mhm.
I see it. But and I'm answering my question to you here. I never really just got into it. It was just
Right.
not like offered to me. Like, "Uy, pare, do you want to join our fraternity or a gang?" It's like maybe they just thought I was, not really worth the invite. But it's one of those things where I'm thinking, should I have made more effort to try to join a brotherhood or a gang or?
I mean, it's I'm a little confused of how there's a difference between gangs, brotherhoods, and fraternities, right? Brotherhood is definitely the definition of things. But when you say brotherhood here in the States, the flip side on that is here in the States, it typically equates to being in a fraternity.
Right,
You know,
right.
gangs and fraternities here are completely separate things. Fraternities are more like the upperclassman type of thing. You know what I mean?
Mm, mm, mm,
It's
mm.
I have to say it's fraternities here in the US equates to a lot of privileged kids,
Sure, sure,
kids that
sure,
are already well off. Gangs, unfortunately, gangs here in the US are
sure,
it's basically well, gangs definition of
sure,
it, causing mayhem, trouble, and whatnot. You know,
sure. But just for argument's sake or curiosity's sake, let's just like put them all under just one little group,
right?
because you're kind of like splitting hairs now in
Well,
terms
you
of,
can't put it in one group though. That's the thing, especially here. It's two separate things.
but you get what I mean, how it kind of helps you either as a person, spiritually, financially, for whatever reason or another. It's a group. I just wanted to call it a brotherhood. But
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Being in a there are definitely some financial advantages when it comes to being part of that. And have I been? No. In the Philippines growing up when I was younger, I did have family members who are part of the fraternities,
oh,
Tau Gama and Acro.
yeah, that's what
Those
I
are the
mean. How about your dad? Did he mention anything about that?
no, I mean he mentioned a lot of it, yeah, but was he part of it? No, he wasn't.
Mm,
But I do have relatives that are part of it.
mm, mm.
Um, and to be quite honest with you, it's a mixed experience, you know, at least in the Philippines when I was younger. I definitely learned and saw that those particular fraternities did have a lot of good times and like a lot of good work that they were doing for the particular communities or
Right,
barangays. Um,
right.
but unfortunately, there's also a lot of bad things that I saw, and I saw it firsthand. You know, um, now here in the states, did I ever? Yeah, I never because most fraternities are for college students, typically students that go to universities. Um, those big Ivy League universities,
Right.
but they're not in um, local colleges or state colleges, or
My
gangs
question
wise. Yeah.
my question is, does it help? Does it does I mean, your question, does it help you become a better man?
To
Does
be
it
part
help
of
you
that.
become, yeah, does it help you become a better citizen, a more active person? Because like one of the things that my cousin does in his group,
Hmm.
like you said, like they do stuff for the community, they donate stuff, they gather people together to show up at events, and
Right. Right.
it does a lot of good. Or were you more like a lone wolf? I'm not gonna be part of that group thing, or
And it again, it's not like I'm knocking it or whatever. It's all everybody's
right.
got their personal preference for it. Do I did I ever No. I mean, I was approached at some point, but do I think like I wanted to ever join? No. I never really I was too afraid, to be quite honest with you.
Afraid of
Yeah.
what?
Well, what could happen? Because growing again, I've seen the good and the bad, at least in the Philippines. Unfortunately, here in the States, like I
Mm.
said, in the US here is separate. When you say fraternities, these are typically the privileged college frat guys, and the gangs are obviously the gangs.
Oh, you mean to say you were afraid of being involved in any of the violence or any of the negative stuff?
Absolutely, absolutely. I was too afraid, to be honest with you. I mean, because I don't have the balls or the audacity to like do anything that crazy. I guess
Yeah.
Um,
Same here, in a sense that maybe the people that saw me didn't think I was worth inviting. He looks like a chicken, or he looks like he's going to be, or mukhang mataray yan. He looks
right,
like he's
right.
going to be he's going to be criticizing all the stuff that we're doing. Let's go
Th-
look for somebody else.
Going back to your question, that do I think that it helps
Right.
one become a man or a better man? It depends to the individual, I guess. It all
Yeah.
depends on the individual, right?
I I ask about it, and I don't know how where this leads to. Let me know if this leads us astray. But one of the I gotta give credit to it was this video that I saw, like 7 things that help you become a better man or something like that. I swear I forget what the first six are, but I think it was Bedros something. I forget his last name. Forgive me, but it was 7 things that make you a better man, and then his number 7 was to, and I think, I don't know, maybe he's selling a course or something like that, or a mastermind group. But you know how they say like mastermind groups really help. Uh, I guess to put it at a more broader sense, maybe it's a way of saying just watch out, just be more conscious about the people that you hang out with.
Yeah,
Not necessarily brothers, could be sisters,
right.
but maybe that's what the lesson is all about. I don't know if he was selling a course at the end of that video, but that's what it sounded like to me. Or a course or a group or something like that. Because some people actually pay to join groups like this. Do you know about
Yeah.
that?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, they're like online stuff. That's like the one of the things online now where you could join a group of people that are
Hmm.
into the same thing that you're into. That sounded so generic, but you know what I mean? Like mastermind groups where, oh, we're going to make our lives better, we're going to do this, we're going to do that.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, see, that's the thing there. It's like I know that there are a bunch of these, I guess, brothers that either in a fraternity or a gang that do have benefits for them, like financial benefits.
Because
Yeah.
as I get older, I kind of realize like I don't have enough connections. My network is so small. It's like
Right.
I was thinking, if I had a brotherhood, or if I had a group, the positive side of it, okay, not the negative gang side.
Right.
I might have been better connected and better connections. You open up more opportunity.
Well, it depends as well, though. I mean,
And I'm also thinking, or does it make me a stronger person that I'm a lone wolf? Was it a better thing for me and my personality if I was not
in a
part
game.
of anything like that? Yeah.
Right, right, right. I mean,
Just
that
just
makes
made me think. It's like one of those, crossroads where, being in our age, we're kind of running out of crossroads, right?
we're literally out of roads to go through.
Running out of street signs to tell us where to go. We're like
Right.
off the beaten track by now. And so I'm like, should I have turned left on that last corner? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that's what makes me think a lot. So yeah, so to try to circle back to your dad, what um was that one of the things that he brought up or didn't bring up, didn't tell you?
Like what? Like
Yeah, being part of a group or a mastermind or a gang or
no.
a
The one thing that he
fraternity.
really installed to me growing up is you need to discover yourself first
Mm,
before you can actually even start to think that you're a good person and whatnot. You need to try to discover yourself first, who you think you are. And unfortunately for him, this was the sad thing that I got from him. He did say, unfortunately, it's one of his biggest regrets that he realized it at the last part, like, later in life, who he is, what makes him happy. Was he able to do it? No, he was not able to do it because he was too afraid. You know,
can you say what that was?
what? Um,
What he was
it-
afraid of doing?
he was just afraid of starting over.
Wow.
Yeah, he was afraid of starting over, and it was tough for him. It was really, really tough for him. Like I said, maybe the last 8 to 10 years of his life are like the only times that me and him got really close with each other. Um, sorry, but prior to that, what 30 years, the first 30 something years of my life, it was rough. Me and him were like always butting heads. Um, misunderstanding each other, yada yada yada, you know. But
Yeah.
towards the end, it I discovered what great person this guy is, who happens to be my dad.
Yeah. Were
You
you one
know,
of those guys that are like, I don't need you. I don't want you in my life. Don't bother me.
no, 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 no. I
You
I
never
was
like,
actually the person that was the one going after him, trying to get him to notice me and try to
mm,
help me, guide me, so to speak. But
mm,
I
mm.
never got that from him. Which again, that was part of the things that alam mo yung kasabihan sa Tagalog na nagkukulang,
Yeah.
sabi niya sa akin, ang sabi niya sa akin, anak, doon ako nagkulang. You know what I mean? Meaning in like
Sorry.
his attention of and raising me as a kid.
Oh, wow. He said
Yeah.
that. He admitted that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was one of the reasons why I realized, God damn, this guy is, even though he had it rough, I wish I could beat this guy. You know, he's a
Yeah. Yeah.
good man. He's a very, very good man who was just beaten down and went through the wrong track. That's it. That's why he just had a hard time. Yeah.
Man.
Um, but what about you? I know you and your dad was on and off as well. Do you think that you as a man was equated or came derived from how he is as a man?
No. I was that voice that was saying, like, I don't need you. I don't need a dad. I don't because because deep inside I was really upset that he wasn't like interested. He didn't seem to be interested in me. That's the
Right.
thing. So I was like, you don't care? I'll stand up for myself then. So I was a bit upset. So that's where the whole lone wolf thing probably came from. But
So
to
you
this
literally
day,
were like the rebellious one towards him, or was it you and him and your mom?
like, no, rebellious is such a strong word, but it's more like I'm not gonna run after you.
Right.
I was curious to get to know him and hang out with him. And I did, like, looking back, I did like try to get his attention for a few years, but after a while it's like it's just not in him.
Mm.
Maybe it's not that he doesn't love me. I don't know. Love is like another conversation, but it was just one of those things. And I think this is the answer to your question about what makes a good man. And for me, at least what I would appreciate uh for anybody is that they actually give you that attention that you deserve, or that you're that they
Deserve or
acknowledge that you,
required or require?
just the fact that you exist. Because my dad, it's not
Mm.
like he didn't care, but he just, if you're there, that's fine. If you're not there, that's
Yeah.
kind of fine. Like
Yeah.
I'm like, you kidding me? It's like, bro. So it was one of those things where I didn't want to like fight for that attention, because
Right.
I knew that and maybe subconsciously I was like, just give myself the attention, sort of. I don't know, whatever that rebellious thread comes from.
Right. Right.
But yeah, I mean, talk about daddy issues. That's where it is sometimes. It's like, uh
I
I know a
mean,
couple of,
sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was just thinking, like, there's the thing that I shared, there's the thing that you shared, but there's also people that are like literally running after their dads, like, and then the dad's running away.
Hmm.
Because that's the thing that I can't say about my dad. He didn't like run away. It's like different dynamics for different
Do you
people.
do you feel like you took it for granted?
My relationship with my dad,
Yeah, like meaning you took it for granted. Just it's there, but you rebelled around it.
I need to sit on that a little longer, but I don't think I took it for granted. What I did want to say about it though was what you did mention already, that your dad, said na may pagkukulang siya,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
he had his shortcomings.
yeah.
Not, I wouldn't say who, but that's the problems. Like, some people don't even see that they have mistakes.
Right,
Some
right,
people don't even see that may pagkukulang sila. It's
right,
like, well,
right.
I did the best that I can, so that's that. It's like, just like, no sorry, no acknowledgement, nothing. So it's like, so there. I mean, I don't want
It's
to press it down on my dad too much. He's got his own thing going on, but
right, right.
just you as a person, just acknowledging your needs, not to crap on my dad, but just acknowledging what I needed.
Mhm.
It was like, it would have been nice if somebody apologized every once in a while. you know
Yeah, that's the thing, though. Um, Sometimes it's just really hard to even try to understand that person in your life. For some reason, dads are always harder to understand.
Yeah, that's funny. You're right. Yeah.
You know, I know
Yeah.
I've always had a hard time understanding him, especially growing up as a young kid. My mom, on the other hand, that's a whole different story. She's I just never had that kind of relationship with her. You know,
The funny
um,
thing though is, grandfathers are easier to understand than your dad. Would you agree?
full circles, full circle. I agree. No, I definitely agree. Um, but I don't know. For some reason, like I said with my dad, it was just harder for me to understand him growing up because there were so many things that he was doing that I couldn't comprehend.
You
I
mean he
know
was
he's
too busy, or
who
he was
him
just doing too much stuff? What do you mean he was?
doing too many things, like his work, his gambling here and there, his drinking, is hanging out with people, um, and other things that I've seen as well. you know,
Would you say that he just wasn't giving you enough attention?
yeah. Well, I mean, like I said earlier, the attention wasn't there enough there. He was there,
Okay.
but not exactly emotionally or mentally.
Mm, 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 mm,
You
mm,
know what I mean?
mm,
Like,
mm,
I know for a fact that me and my older siblings, we had to really figure things out on our own. I have two older siblings. There's three of us that really, from my mom and dad, and well, a younger one, but that's with my mom right now. But it's a whole different story. Anyway, the three older one, me, myself, and my two older siblings, my older sister, my older brother. Like I said, we don't have a relationship right now. But growing
mm,
up, we had to figure things out on our own to a point where literally everybody went on their own thing. You know,
mm,
we had to grow up quick because we never had that guidance there. So we had to find it ourselves, And that's
mm,
exactly what my dad was saying was he was sorry about that, the shortcomings for that.
mm, mm,
I don't know what it is. I don't know about you. We're both dads here, okay?
mm.
But I don't think I have that kind of big of a balls to like admit that. Do you know what I mean?
To your kids?
Yeah, if ever. Or even to realize that it takes me forever to realize that kind of a shortcoming or mistake that I might have in my life.
That's funny that you say that. Because on my side, well, this is a totally different topic, maybe, but when I talk to my kid, I was about to say kids. I was trying to think, how many do I have? Um, when I talk to my kid, here's a funny thing, and let me know if you relate to this. I talk to my kid, he does a mistake, and then I have a particular response to him that, while I'm saying it to him, like whatever, oh, it's okay, you can pick yourself up, you'll be all right, something positive like that. And I'm not trying to like be woke and try to be, you know, pro- positive or fake positive with him or anything like that. It's just like it just comes out naturally.
Right.
And I'm thinking, why can't my parents talk to me like that? It's so natural for me.
Yeah.
It's like, why don't my parents you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe to answer your question, for me it's easy to admit. It's like, oh, sorry, it's easier for me to say sorry to my kid if I realize that it's wrong. And that's why I don't understand why my parents can't do it. Or let's say I don't understand why you're saying that you can't do it.
right. Well, it I guess I said it wrong. It's not that I can't do it. It takes me a long time to no, I take it back actually.
You're gonna lose face. Like, did you come up with this? Did you build this reputation to your kids that you don't want to break?
No, 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 no. I have this thing in our house. Okay, we don't sugarcoat anything in this house. We call it
Okay.
as we see it. If you're full of shit, you're gonna be called full of shit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's how I've raised my kids, and unfortunately, they've they've taken it to a whole different level. I've always told my kids to like be able to speak their mind. If you believe that you are correct on something, you defend it 1000%, right? But if you realize your mistake, you admit to it as quickly as you defend it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make
But
sense?
going back to what you were saying though, if the shit's on you,
Right.
I mean,
Well,
it's
back to
easy to
what I'm
say that
saying. If
you're
it's the
not
shit's
going to
on me,
sugarcoat it. Yeah.
I don't sugarcoat it. I apologize quickly. I
So what's the
actually
problem
learned
then?
that. Well, I actually learned that from my dad.
Mm, mm, mm,
You know what I mean?
mm.
The problem there is I tend to think about it a long time first. I, th- I think, well, I gotta let it sink in because I'm a very logical thinker. So I try thinker, yeah. So I try to think of any logical ways I could get out of it. Does that make sense? Am I making sense here?
No, I'm letting it sink in that you're actually saying that.
Yeah. I mean, shit, I have to. You know what I mean? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll
That's
admit to that. If it takes me a little bit to figure it out, it may
mm,
take me a, but I will approach my kids and apologize if need be. Now, that's where the problem comes into effect, where sometimes they don't realize their mistake or where they've gone over the line. So, but that's a whole different story. But
I was gonna say,
going
what
back,
about when they don't see your mistake?
when I catch my own mistake, yes, I own up to it. You have
No,
to.
but no, but if they don't bring it up, do you bring it up?
Yes, I go up to, hey, I was wrong. I'll apologize, yada yada yada. Once
Okay.
I realize things, because it can't be just my way all the time. That's impossible.
Mm-mm-mm.
You know, because say the way I'm raising my kids, the way my train of thought is in regards to that is I'm trying to combine the old Filipino version of raising kids and the American version of raising kids. I'm trying to put them together and fuse them.
Which is what exactly, Jason?
Well, in the Filipino side, where there's respect, okay, first of all, specifically respect to everyone, okay,
Mm.
understanding, um, knowing how to help around the house,
Oh,
yada yada,
wait. You
discipline.
mean you're saying respect towards the parents, but the parents respecting the kids, not
No,
necessarily.
no, to everyone, not just to the parents, to
It's
everyone, but basically, most definitely to the parents.
okay.
But we always tell them you gotta respect everybody. If you want to be treated with respect, you better damn well respect them. That's the Filipino version of raising kids, where
What's the American version?
discipline. American way is like being patient, being able to have your free train of thought and free will to speak, yada yada yada. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And unfortunately, combining them in a lot of way brings a conflict of interest because it's
how's
there's a
that?
lot of contradiction. You know what I mean?
Oh, I have an answer for you, but I don't know if I should say it or not.
Say it.
No. I'm not going to tell you how to parent, but the way I understand it, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Right.
Like not all the issues need to be dealt with like now. It could like spread out throughout the rest of the week. So you got to be really patient about it. It's like you can't just, how when when parents do this,
Yeah, I do that.
it doesn't. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Like first 5 seconds of the podcast, you were like, "All right, everybody, join the live."
Right.
But it's like if I was your wife, I'd be like, okay, put the hand down
Right. Right.
and then just like let it play out for the rest of the week. It's like a test of patience, bro. And you're like, you know,
Yeah. I mean,
one of the okay, I won't tell you how to parent, but I'll tell you one thing that I read.
okay.
Like how to talk to it's literally a book, how to talk to 5-year-olds so that they'll listen. And it's a marathon it's a test of patience because it's like, Jason, I know it's fun. It's fun jumping around the bed, right? It's nice.
But
Like
if
you're
you fall
rolling
and
your
break
eyes
your
back.
arm,
Yeah, and you're barfing on you're swallowing your own barf,
right.
and then you have to like do this whole explanation. Yeah, exactly.
I'm just saying, everybody's different and it's
But Jason's way of doing it would probably be like, Noel, get off the bed.
well, yeah, in a way I will. I'm not gonna lie about that. Yes, I do tell my kids that, like, get the hell off. I mean, I don't say get the hell off, but just get off the bed.
I told you
The
about this,
way
right?
the way I disciplined him is logically. there has to be
Logic.
an undergoing reason for something. I don't know why, but that's just the way I am.
But that's the thing. Logic makes you a robot.
No, absolutely not. Logic opens up your mind and allows you to think properly.
Not saying that it's a bad thing, but maybe that's just what makes it rough at the edges.
True. True.
I told you about that story with the dog, like the double standards with the dog, right? Like now I got this tiny little dog now can jump on the bed, lie down with us.
Oh
But
yeah, yeah, yeah. You told me about that.
the Labrador, huge guy, whapa, get off the bed.
Yeah.
And then he's like, why? Because I'm black? It's a black Labrador,
Color has
guys.
nothing to do with it.
Keep
It's
your
because
pants
you're
on.
ugly.
Yeah. Nicest dog, but it's like, pow, get off the bed.
Have you have you ever seen like we're gonna segue here a little bit, okay? You know what? Screw it. Never mind.
And while you're thinking about that, the Labrador right now, he's going through like like it's like shredding season. So
Uh
you just pet him and it's like it's like
yeah. Their dogs, your dog shreds like that?
yeah. Yeah, when I visit him, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't like shredding dogs too much. It's like too much work. You gotta clean a lot of stuff all the time. It's annoying.
Yeah. Poor
Yeah.
guy.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Have you ever No, 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 I'm not gonna bring that up. No, no, not right now. Maybe another time. Another time. Um, so going back real quick. I know we've kind of gone around this too much, but we need to come up with some kind of answer to it. In your point of view, what makes a better man?
I thought we would get around like skirt all the way around it so that we don't have to answer the question.
Well, that's true, but I don't know. Shouldn't we have some kind of resolution about it or no?
Yeah. That's a good point. Okay, you go first.
It depends. That's my answer. Unfortunately, it depends on how you look at it. A better,
Nah, give me
but okay. Here's my textbook. I think what makes a better man is how that man can relate or approach another human being. Maybe
right.
you know
Yep.
it doesn't necessarily have to be a perception of that person, but a better man, what makes a better man is one that just knows how to be compassionate.
Yeah. I
I mean,
wouldn't
it's
even
not
go
this.
as
Sorry, go ahead.
I wouldn't even go as far as compassionate. That sounds like so religious or Christian or
It's
Catholic already.
lacking. Unfortunately, nowadays it's lacking.
Yeah. No. I don't disagree with you, but that's already like a couple of steps forward, like compassion. And, I would just say it's like
Mm,
acknowledge the other person is alive.
true.
Acknowledge, like for example, if here in the Philippines, you're at a stoplight, there's a kid or an old man or a beggar, acknowledging the person is alive is like, pasensya na, what, like, I can't give you anything or I don't want to give you anything or whatever. Like,
Right.
acknowledge that the person exists. The way the people do it here, either they totally ignore it as if the person's not there,
Right.
begging, knocking on your car,
Right.
your Jeep Gladiator, or windows are rolled up. Listen to this. If you want to drive here in the Philippines, windows are rolled up. And if they're knocking
What?
on, I'll send you the remix.
Okay.
They're
They're
knocking on
knocking
the
on your
window,
window.
and you, the driver, are looking away and then knocking on the window back. That means like, get off.
Yeah. People actually do that?
Yeah, it's like I don't know where
That's
that
really
started.
shitty.
I don't know where that started. I don't know how that and it's funny. It's like I wish I could do that on the motorcycle, right?
Huh.
But I started seeing, friends, people that have cars doing that. It's like, how do you? I mean, here you are, like a Christian church leader, for example, and when somebody knocks on your door, you can't like, give them a smile or apologize or roll down the window and you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
acknowledge that the
Yeah.
person exists. You don't even have to be compassionate. You don't even have to be Christian, Catholic, religious, whatever denomination you follow,
Right.
but just acknowledge that there's another human being on the other side of that window, for example.
Mm, mm.
I think
Well,
that's, or just see people and
if
acknowledge your mistakes. And yeah, if you're
well,
shitty or whatever.
that kind of applies to like a different part of being a man, though. I mean, what that like kind of applies to what defies a man, you know? But that's a whole different dynamic or a whole different conversation to be had, right?
Go
No,
go spread
maybe.
and multiply.
What the? I don't. I don't even know what to say to that. But listen, um, can we change gears here real quick?
I have one more thing to add.
Okay, go ahead.
So write this down. Acknowledge other people exist, or whether higher or lower than you. Acknowledge that they exist. By
Right.
higher, like my Manny Pacquiao example. It's like if I were a better man, quote unquote, I would have at least, you know, I think it would have been good if I stood up and said, "Hey, Manny, good luck" or whatever.
Mm,
But
mm.
no, being a high, because he's higher and then I'm lower than him, for example, I pretended that he didn't exist, but I'm a fan. You know what I mean, like a
Yeah.
hypocrite
Right. Right.
pretending. So here I am ignoring Manny Pacquiao, and then here I am also ignoring the beggar on the street. So either way, you're a shitty man for not acknowledging that these people exist, either higher or lower than you. Anyway, so that's it. So that's my number one. Acknowledge that other people exist. And then number two, I forgot. Such a long intro about number
that,
one.
that was a long intro.
Number two would just be maybe something to the effect of, okay. Um, there's this quote that I who you are is God's gift to you, and then who you become is your gift back to God.
Right.
So something to the effect of, I think a better man would be, yeah, you started here, this was your starting line, and everybody has a different starting line.
Right.
But where are you trying to go? Where are you? What's your finish line?
Hmm. Hmm.
And I think the not so better man would be, I'm starting here and I'm staying here. I'm not going anywhere. No need to go somewhere else. No need to improve.
Right. Right.
So yeah, circling back, if a gang, a group, brotherhood would help to get you to your finish line or wherever it is that you want to go, I don't know. But the whole point is, yeah, get from point A to B and figure out what your B is. Don't just
Yeah,
stay on the
that's true.
starting line. I think
That's true.
that's my 2 cents.
There has to be some kind of end point to it, one way or the other.
That's my 2 centavos about that. You want to change topics?
Yeah. Let's jump ship here real quick. We don't have to talk about this long, but my wife's been watching uh the podcast on a religious basis. She's
Oh, she's got her eye on you, kid.
Man, she is like commenting left and right. I mean, she's enjoying the show though. I'm sitting okay, so my desk is right here, right? Her desk is literally about it's in the next room over that direction. I can see her desk, right? But if I'm recording right now, she can hear me, but not completely. But I'm sitting here sometimes and she's just over there doing work, laughing, listening to our podcast. And I'm like,
Interesting.
our show's not even funny. Why? It's not that funny. Yes, there are funny moments, but she was like saying, yeah, there's a lot of funny moments if you know what you're if you're listening the whole thing, you know. And
Mm.
she was like saying that the Tagalog episode, the one that we did,
Yeah, yeah. Where
yeah,
we started talking about poop,
yeah, the poop
going
episode, that was she enjoyed that a lot. She said that
the
that was
toilet.
really fun, and she said that we need to be a little bit more personable, personable or personal,
What does that
but
even mean?
not personal like our backstories or anything, but
Mm.
experiences, things that we
Aren't
might have done in our lives, type of thing, you know.
aren't our experiences the background?
Not
I
well,
didn't get it.
not experiences, not exactly in the personal level, because not everything we've done in life is personal, right? Meaning
I don't.
personal like family or whatever, or
Oh,
girlfriends,
too
or
many details. Yeah.
yeah, not to be in too many details or whatnot is what she meant. And then
Mm.
also she's like corrected like a lot of the shit that we say sometimes. Like some of the stories that I might have. Like for example, like I have to okay, I got a retraction here. Okay, you ready for this?
Okay.
She pointed this out to me. We talked about Purple Patch, one of
Okay.
those Filipino restaurants in Washington, D.C. The one that I thought and I was saying that was kind of pretentious and the food wasn't good. Well, it was pretentious, you know. It was kind of catering to the yuppie crowd. But in regards to the tasting of the food, we've actually never been there, eaten there. We went there to check it out, but we couldn't eat there because they didn't have an open table. But at the same time, we went to since we couldn't go to that restaurant that day, we went
Hmm.
to another Filipino restaurant that had crappy food.
So she's saying that you were talking about the wrong restaurant.
Correct. I was talking about
Nice.
Purple Patch, um, and she made it clear that no, we went to another restaurant that day, but it was also a Filipino restaurant. So, the Purple Patch, the business and whatnot. Listen, I apologize. My mistake. My bad. I know I was. Let me put it to you this way: the passion that I had in regards to bashing that whatever food that we had that day, that's to that other restaurant. That place sucked. It was so bad. I don't even know the name of the restaurant anymore.
It was so bad that it spilled over to purple patch.
Correct. And I apologize. My wife pointed that out to me, and I was arguing with her. She was like, "No, I'm telling you, Jay, we did not go there. We went there, but we couldn't get in there." I was like, "Okay, all right, my fault, my bad." Purple Patch, willing to try you.
Bro,
Let me try you.
you got to give her a microphone just in case she needs to save your ass.
I know. Well, no, she went upstairs, so I can't.
It's like a lifeline.
I,
Like hook up an intercom just up upstairs, like just in case I need to ask you a question.
just in case she needs to unmute the mic and like jump in and like, hey, shut up. Watch what you're saying.
Yeah, like those are
Right,
wrong
right.
details. We didn't go to that restaurant.
Well, um,
What else? What other comments does she have?
well, she was just that. Like, a lot of the things really like it's not a lot. It's just here and there, really.
And
But
any comment about my fly swatter at the back, my electrical?
no, but she did say that. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
She did say again about your background.
What
She
about my
said
background?
it's too dark. I told you. She said that.
'Cause I'm in the bat cave. That's what it's all about.
It's horrible.
Jeez.
I think my son just came home. Harry, can you close the
Lock.
garage, please? I
I
left
want to
the
be the
garage
one to
open.
say that. I want to
What's
be the
that?
one to say that next time. If ever I get the chance to visit you in your house, I meet Harry. Did you close the garage door?
No, I completely forgot to close it. So he closed it for me. Thank God. Um, yeah. So
That's
she was like saying that it's there's some episodes we've gotten all over the place, like here and there. Like we'll literally start conversating about one topic 2 minutes later because they brought up something. We're talking about another thing.
is that bad?
I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing, honestly, but I do understand what you're saying, but I don't know if it's a bad thing. That's the thing. You know what I mean? Am I making sense here?
Yeah, sorry. Speaking of like jumping
Jesus
from
Christ,
all over the
really?
place, there's something that caught my attention. We're looking at TikTok. You're live on TikTok, and then somebody, are you the one that messaged this? What is one thing you can't live without?
No, I
I,
didn't say that.
I don't know who that came from. It's
Where are
just
you
can I
seeing
can
that?
I show you? Here. There's it's probably blurry, but there's a message here. It doesn't say who it's from. It caught my attention because I thought it was like the emergency alert network or something like that.
That's yo, what are you talking about? Yo, what are you talking about on this podcast? Oh, that was Gabriel. Um,
Yeah, that's what got me to ask you what we're talking about on the podcast, and then we
yeah,
answered it. We gave a little teaser. We talked about that, like the street signs.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So I don't know where the question came. What was the question?
What is one thing you can't live without? It's a
What?
TikTok question. I don't know if it's TikTok that sent that or if it's a person that sent that. I don't.
I don't
I
know.
swear I don't.
I mean, this is the first time I've ever done the live anything. But what is the one thing that I can't live without? My family.
Yeah.
I know how cliche and cheesy. I'm looking into TikTok. The question that was brought to me was, what is the one thing you can't live without? It's my family. I can't live without them. Um, Honestly, I'm one of those guys where I don't mind spending time with my family. I love spending time with them. You know, as annoying as they are, I don't ever want to be without my family.
It's like a backhanded compliment. Like, oh, as annoying as they are. It's like
Am I going to sit here and say that my kids aren't annoying? No, I'd be lying. My kids are annoying. I got a 17-year-old teenage son who drives like he swears he's in Fast and the Furious.
or Tokyo
my
Drift or a Vin Diesel.
no, Tokyo Drift sucks. Well, okay. He practically Tokyo Drift because he's like driving Fast and the Furious with his Kia Soul, you know, which I've actually driven. So that car that I got him,
Mm.
it's a 2019 Kia Soul. It's a decent car. I actually enjoyed driving it. I had a blast driving it, to be honest with you. Um, I was a little bit, it felt like I was going to get blown off the road, though, to be honest with you, because it's so light in comparison to my truck.
Mm.
When there's like a big gust of wind, it feels like the car's just going to tip over. But
Imagine
anyway,
you're on the motorcycle.
well, I bet. But
There's a sorry to distract you and
my
to
friend,
there's a it's a developing area, right, where I live in. There's a couple of buildings, basically a couple of alleys that you pass. So there's a lot of open spaces, and then a couple of buildings that it becomes like a little funnel for the wind. And then I swear, whenever I pass there, I feel like I'm being like in a wind tunnel on the motorcycle. It's like, okay,
that's that's
get
scary,
ready,
dude.
get
That's
ready to lean
scary.
over to the left because the wind is coming from the right.
Right,
You're
right.
like you're like on a boat. Just like move over to the other side. Let's lean over this way. So
Yeah. But no,
wait,
I'm not going to sit here and say that my kids aren't annoying. Yeah. Even my little 3-year-old, it gets annoying. Serious. Sep, you're laughing, but it's true. It's not even funny how annoying she could get. Okay. We made a mistake. I don't know if it's a bad thing, but we made a mistake of talking to our 3-year-old daughter like a grown up. Not like we don't we don't talk to her like, oh yeah, come on, it's okay. You know, no, none of that baby talk crap. We talk to her like we talk to everybody else. And she's
okay.
grown up and picked up on it quite quickly. You know, so she talks very clearly. What you're blocking your screen.
I keep fussing around with the light here that it just ends up like blocking me.
So
Yeah.
I could be in my room and she's just literally gonna walk. She walks in front of me like this, looks at me while she's walking and points on my belly and says, "Dad, you're fat."
Nice.
Anyway,
And I'm thinking here, it's about time I get that freaking lamp. I'm starting to give up. Like the whole
I
episode, I'm
don't.
practically juggling both of these lamps.
I thought you already ordered it. I don't understand. I told you, get
Let
two.
let's like
We'll talk about that off the air.
yeah,
um,
it's all about relationships, man.
yeah, man. Yeah, it definitely is.
All about the relationships that you keep. And yeah, I there's my son. I can't live without him, but how about anything
Material.
material real quick?
You take a wild guess. Well, I can't live it out. Material wise.
Your dumbbells?
What the fuck? Seriously? I mean, when did you ever see me with my dumbbells here?
You said wild guess, so I went wild.
Jesus Christ, dude. Dumbbells? I mean, I could say for you, you're definitely I think your camera.
Thank you.
You
Thank
see what I'm
you.
saying there?
Yeah.
And then
I
you
went
you
wild.
because camera matters to you, right?
So so tell me, what is it then?
My truck.
Okay. All right, all right.
You see?
I won't pull an easy one on that.
Okay. All right. All right. Yes. No, but no. I mean, this shows between you and I who really cares. Okay.
Sure, sure,
where
sure.
where I'm talking about something that matters to you, and you're talking about when it comes to me, you just throw shit around like it's whatever.
Bro, I'm doing you the favor of you're telling me to go wild. I went wild. You told me to jump. I'm asking how high.
It's an expression when you say take a wild guess. I'm not even gonna bother explaining to you. You know what it means. You know.
There was something else that you wanted to talk about before I got distracted with that TikTok question.
I don't know.
Jeez.
I completely forgot, man.
Can't live without your notebook. Write it down.
Well, I have it here, but we've already crossed it out. We've already talked about what makes a better man. My wife, Manny Pacquiao loses money. That's what I had here on my notes.
I got one more thing here. Do we still have time? I got one more thing
Yeah, we
here,
got
or
time.
it can spill over to the next show.
What is it? Go ahead.
It's not really a thing, but I mean, no, it's not really a big deal, but I just wanted to say that it's a thing.
Okay.
Um, I was looking through, and I don't really know technically what it's called, like in the uh psychology world, but there's this uh not new age millennial thing now. I think that they call waiting mode. Have you heard of waiting mode?
What?
It's an ADHD thing. I think you don't have to be a diagnosed ADHD. I thought I was, but apparently I'm not diagnosed, or I'm not.
You diagnosed yourself ADHD?
I feel like it. Yeah, it's a good excuse. But there's this funny thing that I came across. They call it waiting mode. Just, I guess look it up. Videos
Okay.
will explain to you. It's basically about you have a set time. Let's say 8 o'clock. We're gonna do podcast like on Thursday. It's Sunday or Monday today, and then all the way until Thursday, you're thinking about that 8 o'clock meeting that you're going to have, or that podcast that you're going to have. So, and
Yeah.
it's waiting mode because you're sitting around practically not doing anything else aside thinking about that.
I mean, I wouldn't go as far as that,
So
but
you're just fixated on it. Fixated on it.
hmm.
I just found it funny that it's a thing. Like, it's a thing. Oh, the other thing that I wanted to talk about was um the apps that they got here that's been losing money.
Oh
No,
yeah.
it's just one app, I think. Yeah, it's just one app. But it's just funny, not to spread the news, but it's just funny that when they were talking to one of the like spokesperson for this app,
Hmm.
she kept being insistent on that. Oh, your money didn't go anywhere. It wasn't hacked. It wasn't hacked. It just, I don't know what she said after that. It wasn't hacked. But what happened was, you're supposed to have money on that app, right? And
Right.
then all of a sudden you get a notification that congratulations, your money was transferred to XYZ bank. And I didn't
Right.
transfer any money to XYZ bank. It just automatically got transferred. But I just found it funny, like listening to her speak, like, oh, it didn't get hacked. There's just something that happened. But isn't that what hacked means? Like
Yeah.
something happens to
Because
your account without you doing it on purpose.
somebody got in there and took care of things.
So why are you telling me, or the people, the public that are listening to this news report, that it didn't get hacked? Are we like playing with semantics here? I mean, are we? It's like
What
it's
was the
practically.
company?
I don't want to say it.
No.
I don't want to get in trouble. I don't have money for a lawyer. But you
Is
know
it a
what I
big?
mean?
Is it a big company?
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's one of the big ones here. But it's just funny how the spokesperson is like, "Oh, it didn't get hacked." Like everybody knows what hacked means. We're not stupid.
Right. It's sad to say there's a lot of hackers in the Philippines.
Yeah, but it's just I don't know. Because I guess if you use the word hacked and then we're investigating on it, you're admitting that there was weakness in your system,
Right.
and you're saying that it wasn't hacked. But that's the same thing.
Do you
Something
lose money
happened
on
in
it?
the account. Me?
Yeah.
No, I have 11 pesos on my account. So, oh, and the funny thing about it was whether people got 30,000 transferred to that bank or 50,000 or 3,000. If I'm not mistaken, like everybody, whoever got hacked, and
Right.
oh, it's not being hacked. Everybody only had 85 pesos left.
Oh my God.
Whether it got transferred 30,000, 3,000, or 50,000, whatever the amount was,
Right.
regardless,
Right.
the amount that was left was 85 pesos.
On
And
everybody?
no, 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 just these handful of people that got hacked. I don't know how many
Jeez.
people got hacked,
I mean,
but
if it's random amounts that's left, yeah, sure, okay.
no, right? No, specifically 85 pesos.
That definitely got hacked because there's some kind of program
Yeah,
that's in there. And then for
and
that
this,
spokesperson to say no, idiot, fired.
yeah. Oh no, but the good thing about these guys was, according to a follow-up report, I think they gave the money back. But
Well, that's good.
the one that I'm just harping on is her insisting that your money didn't go anywhere. It wasn't hacked. It's like it did go somewhere. It went to bank XYZ. And
Did
that's
it
what you call
actually
hacked.
did it actually go to bank XYZ?
I guess. Yeah. I think that bank confirmed. And then they shut down. They did what they needed to do. I
Hmm.
mean, in fairness to everybody else, it was dealt with accordingly, except for this one spokesperson. I just found it irritating that she's trying to talk to us as if we're stupid, that it didn't get hacked and your money didn't go anywhere. The
Right.
money
Right.
did go somewhere. And because it went somewhere without you doing it to yourself, that's called hacking. So don't say that it wasn't hacked. That's just the whole thing that I was, bitching about.
Right.
It's like, don't talk to us as if we're stupid. So there, that's my rant.
Right.
Check
Anyway.
that off my list.
So I'm looking at this TikTok live thing right here. It actually tells you how many minutes you've on. Like it says here, great job. You've gone live for 90 minutes. Don't forget to take a break. That's nice of them, huh?
Oh, is that where we're at now? 90 minutes?
Yeah, apparently. It's been
Oh,
90 minutes and it says don't forget to take a break.
we should wrap up then.
Yeah.
What's 90 minutes? An hour and 30
Well,
minutes?
Yeah, an hour and 30 minutes, so more or less. Anyway, well, that was there you go. We've been
Okay,
kind
bye.
of all over the place. And it was fun. It was interesting. We're definitely gonna get the hang of it. Guys, for all of you guys that checked out the live, thank you. Appreciate it. We actually got we'll talk about logistics later. Anyway, again,
To
hopefully you guys catch us on the next one.
to sort of wrap everything up, if you got lost in everything that we talked about, there's basically three things that we talked about. What makes you a better man? Jason's wife's been watching and her comments, and that it's been hacked. Okay.
Yes.
The money
Yeah,
did
that's
get
pretty much it. That
transferred.
sums it up. All right. Well, we'll be on again on Saturday, US time, 8 a.m. in the morning, which would be no, I take that back. We'll be on Sunday. This week, we're going to be on Sunday morning, US time, 8 a.m., which would be 8 p.m. Sunday night in the Philippines. Check us out. We're going to be live on both TikTok and YouTube. Anyway, thanks again. This is The Flip Side with Jay and Noel. My name is Jay.
My name is Noel.
Maraming salamat sa inyong pagtitiwala. Thank you very much, and we'll catch you later.
Cheers.
Oh, really? That's how you're going to close it? You forget your on the flip side. Duh, your line.
Wait, you didn't say something. You said it differently too. Can you say the last thing that you said?
Okay, I said, maraming salamat sa inyong pagtitiwala, and we'll catch you
Right.
later.
Oh, that threw me off. The pagtitiwala part. I was like, what does that even mean? Okay, we'll catch you later. On the flip side.
All right, guys. Have a good night.